on the range where the deer and the I'm on the range. I'm in a forest, and it's nighttime. I wonder if anybody's gonna show up to say hello to me this morning, or this evening, tonight. Maybe, maybe not. Hope some people start watching. Well, friends, we got about 5 minutes left to go, and the fire looks great. Boys and girls, I hope you can join me tonight. I have tents ready to go, and I have marshmallows and graham crackers. Uh-oh. Where's the chocolate? Did I eat the chocolate again? Oh, I'll never make s'mores out here on the campfire. Maybe next year. Maybe next week. Well, just stay tuned. Couple more minutes. Anybody's around. Well, I'll just wait a little while. Wait till time, I guess. I do like this. Good. Oh, that's a good fire. That's a good fire. almost time. Hello and good evening. You can see where I'm at. It's still very, very much in the dark. I've got this beautiful fire going over here. Oh, it feels so good. It's nice and warm. It's a little chilly out here. And look at the moon is shining over here. It's beautiful. This is one of those nights when you're camping and it's so pretty. But I'm in the middle of nowhere in this forest. Speaking of forests, there's lots of places that God has made. He's made forests and deserts and oceans and jungles. So here's what I'd like to do. I would like to do Who's the King of the Jungle? Do you remember that one? It goes, and it has motions, and I want you to learn the motions, and I want to see if you can be as fast as I am, because I am the fastest in the world at doing motions for this. Can you believe it? Oh, yeah. So it goes like this, and we'll go slow first. So you got to stand up. Grown-ups, you can stand up too. It goes like this. Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Can you do that? Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Whaley, whaley, whaley. Move your legs. Whaley, whaley, whaley. Who's the king of the universe? The king of you and me. I tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Whaley, 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 ooh. Okay, do you think you can do that faster? What do you think? Okay, let's see if we can go faster. All right, here we go. Ready? Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Whaley, whaley, whaley. Who's the king of the universe? The king of you and me. I tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Whaley, 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 ooh! You guys did pretty good. But I think we can go faster. What do you think? Do you think you can beat me? All right, we're going to go faster. See if you can keep up. You ready? Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Whaley, whaley, whaley. Who's the king of the universe? The king of you and me. I tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Whaley, 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 ooh! All right, well, I think you did pretty good, but I think we can go faster. All right, see if you can keep up. Here we go. Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Whaley, whaley, whaley. Who's the king of the universe? The king of you and me. I tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Whaley, 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 ooh! Oh, you did pretty good. I think most of you kept up with me. Even some of the grown-ups. Are you doing it, grown-ups? Grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, are you doing it with your kids? Well, I hope so. All right, we're going to try the fastest ever and see if you can keep up with me. Are you ready? Here we go. Who's the king of the jungle? Ooh, ooh. Who's the king of the sea? Wait, wait, wait. Who's the king of the universe? The king of you and me. I tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Wait, 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 ooh! Did you do it? I'm the fastest. I'm the fastest again. Oh, what? 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 You were faster than me? All right, well, I have to believe you. That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad that maybe it was the time. Maybe we both went as well. What? You went faster? Are you sure you went faster than me? Okay, all right. Well, welcome to Bible Story Time with Mr. Hoobly Doobly. I'm Mr. Hoobly Doobly, and we're at the camp, and we're talking about being happy campers. And today, we're camping at nighttime, and that can get kind of scary, but not too bad. However, I want to talk to you about roughing it. What does it mean to rough it when you're camping? You see, there's no buildings around here. There's not even a bathroom around here, because that's how far out we are in the wilderness. And I wanted to do some things out in the wilderness. I wanted to make a phone call. Hello, hello, hello. But look it, there's no place to plug my phone in. What can I do? So then, I have a cell phone. I brought a cell phone with me, and I figured I could call somebody on my cell phone, but when I look up here, There's no way to connect to anybody. We're too far away from any cell towers. So I can't connect to anybody there. So then I said, I'll play some games with my friend on my tablet. But guess what? When you're roughing it, you have even no Wi-Fi. You have no way to play with or make friends or even watch TV on your tablet. I really wanted to watch Rescue Paws, or Bob the Builder, but I can't. So I'm going to have to try to do something else. I'm getting hungry, so look what I bought. I bought some, can you see it? It says frozen pizza. See, that sounds perfect. I can put some pizza in the oven. Wait a minute. I have no oven. I can't even have pizza today. What am I gonna do? Eat worms? Go fishing and eat a fish? Well, I do have a campfire, so I guess I could cook a fish, but I have to go catch it. That's what I mean by roughing it. You know else, someone who roughed it? Jesus. Jesus, when he started his ministry, he had no home. He had no place to lay his head. And yet he was the most important person in the whole world. Isn't that amazing? So that, I think, is really good for us to know, because just because someone might not have a home or because it might be rough doesn't mean they're not very important, huh? But Jesus was the most important person, and isn't it neat that he taught us that sometimes you have to sacrifice things. Sometimes you have to give things up in order to get things done. Like out here in the wilderness, we gave up a lot of things. We gave up running water, and we gave up our cell phones and our frozen pizzas. Now that's not giving up too much, is it? And Jesus gave up much more. So when I look around here and I think about Jesus sleeping, he didn't even have a tent most of the time. He just slept right off the road in the woods, in the forest. Now that could be very, very scary, I think. What do you think? So I'm hoping that there's no, like, what's that? What is that? Is that a bear? Is that a puma? Is that a monster? Is there monsters in these woods? Who? I'm Mr. Hoobly Doobly. Who are you? I'm just Mr. Hoobly Doobly. I'm Mr. Hoobly Doobly. Who does that? Who says who? Oh, I know. It's an owl. There must be an owl somewhere in the woods somewhere. Maybe up in those trees or something. Oh, I should not be scared of owls, because owls are good. But they can be kind of scary, can't they? Well, I do have a wonderful video on owls. Since we looked at opossums last week, and we looked at Fred the Moose last week, I thought we would look at what owls are like. And owls they're really good. And we'll talk about it right after you watch this wonderful video.
Owls, mysterious nocturnal hunters. These unusual birds have captured our imaginations for centuries. However, even though they hunt almost exclusively in darkness, owls are nothing to be afraid of. There are more than 200 species of owls around the world, and these versatile birds of prey make their homes on every continent except Antarctica. Although there are differences between species, owls share some key features. Owls have sharp talons, hooked bills, and heads that can swivel around in almost any direction. Something interesting about owls is that they cannot move their eyes. If owls want to look at something that is not straight ahead of them, they have to turn their whole head. Owls also have soft plumage. It is these soft feathers that give owls their greatest advantage as a hunter: silent flight. Most birds flap noisily when they fly. Owls' feathers have special edges and a velvety soft covering that absorbs sound and let owls fly so quietly that their prey never hears them coming. Owls typically swallow their prey whole and then regurgitate a pellet of anything too tough to be digested, like fur, bones, and claws. Dissecting these pellets is a good way to find out what the owl has been eating. Owls are good parents, too. They stay with their nestlings and bring them food to eat. Meat, of course. The parents will rip the meat up into small enough pieces that their babies can eat it. The parents will care for the young until they are fully feathered and ready to fly off on their own, a process which takes anywhere from a few weeks to a few months, depending on the species of owl. Finally, you are probably familiar with one kind of owl call, the hoot. But owls make an interesting variety of noises. I hope you enjoyed learning about owls today. Good luck seeing one or hearing one in your neighborhood.
So, it looks like owls are pretty good, aren't they? I think they're great. You know, one time where I lived quite a while back, we had a big barn near our backyard. And I was walking out towards the barn and I heard a swooshing noise. And I looked up and didn't see anything. So I just stood there for a moment and I saw something gliding in the dark in the sky. And it came down and went right over my head. Whoosh. It was a great horned owl. And its wings were like this big. It was really, really big. And it scared me. But then I realized it was just looking for some mice and not for a human being. I'd be too big. So I like owls because they eat mice and they keep the mice population down. That's pretty good. Did you hear all the sounds they make? So if you're out camping some night or in your backyard and you hear whoo-hoo or wow, those really strange noises they're making, guess what? It's okay. They're probably just owls. I tell you what, this week, if you have time, why don't you draw a picture of an owl? Find a picture from a book or maybe from online on the computer and draw a picture of an owl and send it in. And then we can show it on our next week's YouTube streaming, okay? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Okay. So, we're really here to talk about Jesus. And Jesus, when he was roughing it. I can't imagine, but Jesus had his ministry and did his work for 3 years. And all those 3 years, he stayed in people's houses, or lots of times he stayed out just under the stars. It must be interesting to think that Jesus, who made all the stars, would just look up at them and say, oh, I made that one, I made that one, I made that moon, I made those planets. That's pretty amazing, don't you think? I don't think he was ever afraid of anything, because he's the Son of God. Now, the disciples, the ones who followed him, all his followers, they gave up everything. And they did the same thing Jesus did. They slept under the stars with him. But they had to give up a lot to do that, didn't they? Now, there were some that gave up everything, and then there were some that weren't, that would give up. And I think our story from Matthew, from the book of Matthew in your Bible, it tells a story. I think it's chapter 8, 18 through 22. It tells the story of someone who could not give up and could not follow Jesus. So let's watch the story on a video.
The cost of following Jesus. When Jesus saw the crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other side of the lake. Then a teacher of the law came to him and said,
Then a teacher of the law came to him.
I will follow
Teacher,
you
I will follow you
wherever
wherever you go.
Jesus replied,
Foxes have dens and birds have nests.
But the Son of Man has no
But the
place
Son
to
of
lay
Man
his
has
head.
no place to lay his head.
Another disciple
said to him, Lord,
first,
let me go and bury my father.
But Jesus told him,
Follow me.
Follow
me,
me
and let the dead bury their own dead. And the man could not follow him. That was interesting. That was our passages. They were not very long, but let's just think about it. Jesus said, foxes have dens. And what did he mean by that? He meant that foxes have a home, and all the other animals have homes. But he did not have a home. And the man realized that Jesus, if you follow Jesus, you're going to have to rough it. And I guess that he didn't want to do that, so he left. Then another man came to him and said, I will follow you wherever you're going to go. And then he said, but first let me bury my dad. I guess his dad must have passed away and died or something. But Jesus made a very important thing, he said, just to show us. He said, let the dead bury the dead. Means that there's no reason your dad's not going to be able to do anything, so why don't you just come with me? And I think Jesus would have let him bury his dad, but he wanted to see where that person's heart was. And the person could not follow Jesus. I bet you Jesus would have went with him to help him bury his dad if he said, I'll follow you anywhere, and decided to do so. But he didn't want to. And maybe that was his excuse to not follow Jesus. So he left too. How about you? Are you doing any sacrifices for Jesus? Are you kind of doing things for him that might get in the way of your time or your fun? What are some things that you could do for Jesus that would be good? To spend time with him. Maybe prayer. Wouldn't that be a good thing to pray? That when you pray with him, you're sacrificing your time, or you're giving up your time to be with him. Or how about if you see a friend in need and they're crying or something, but you have to, but you want to go get some ice cream or something. But then, wouldn't it be better if you stayed with that friend for a while and helped them? So you know what's happening there? You're giving up your ice cream and you're giving up your fun to help a friend. That's what Jesus would do. Well, one day, this week, someone's car broke down when I was driving, and I pulled over and I helped them. And they were in a little bit in the road, so I said, let's pull your car off the road and put it in a place where no one's going to hurt it. And I opened up the hood, and sure enough, a hose broke. And so I said, you should call up. I said, do you want to ride? And they said, well, no, we're okay with that. And they called up to get their car towed away. But I had to be somewhere, and I was rushing to get there. But then God said, give up some time and help these two people out. So I did. And that made me feel really good inside, because I did what Jesus would have done. And guess what? I wasn't even late. for my appointment, for where I had to go. Isn't that amazing? That's what happens when you give up your time or give up something for God. Sometimes people will see people from across the world who are starving or having a hard time, and they'll give up some money for that because that's what Jesus would do. Remember this about Jesus. He gave up everything. He was with God in heaven on a throne, and he had angels around him, and he didn't need anything, but he saw us, and he wanted us to be with him so bad that he gave up heaven to come down, to be a baby, and to grow up with us so we would get to know him really well. And then to die on a cross, gave up his life for us. But then he rose again on the third day, and he sits back up in heaven, and he welcomes us there when we go from this world. Isn't that wonderful? Jesus gave up everything so that we could have everything. That's an amazing story. And that's what Jesus did. So think of things that you might be able to give up. And when those things happen, when something happens, think about what Jesus would do. And then do it. Okay? All right. So let's get on with one more thing. I want to do a song that I always hear about. And I always wanted to play, and people go, oh, well, no one wants to sing that song. But you know what? I really do like this song. And it's called Kumbaya. Now, the song Kumbaya is a song, and that means come by here. Kumbaya means come by here. And it's a real simple song, so I think you can probably learn it very simply. So I'm going to start with a word, and then you can kind of figure it out as we go. But I'm going to start with Kumbaya, my Lord, and then we'll sing it again, and then you'll get the idea of how the song goes, okay? Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya. Can you sing that with me? Let's try it. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Sing, someone's praying. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. How about singing? Someone's singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. How about crying? Someone's crying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's crying, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. How about laughing? Someone's laughing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's laughing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's laughing, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Now let's say do the beginning part again. Just kumbaya, which means come by here. Let's do come by here. Let's try that. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh Lord, come by here. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Well, that was a wonderful, and you guys sing so wonderfully too. I hope you remember that song next time you go to the campfire. And just remember what kumbaya means, come by here. So we're saying, come to us, Lord, come be with us. That's great. Isn't that wonderful? It's always neat to know that even though Jesus is up in heaven with the Father, because he's God, he can be with us at the same time. I think that's an amazing thing, don't you? Yeah. He can be here with us at our campfire. And you know, when you rough it, there's things that you don't even realize. The crackling of the fire. The embers that are in the fire when you look at it. And then you can look at the stars and the moon. And if you had all your gadgets and all your stuff, you'd miss out on so much great things. And the best thing about it is that you have time to listen to what God has to say to you. So thank you for showing up today. Remember, Jesus loves you, and just have a great and wonderful week. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock. God bless you.